Are you someone who wants to purchase a home but has no idea where to start? If so, stay tuned. This video is for you. Today we are going to discuss how to purchase a home in 8 simple steps. Step 1, assess your finances and know your credit score. This includes knowing how much money you need for a down payment. Step 2, determine your needs and preferences. Step 3, meet with a local realtor and have them put you in contact with a local lender to get you pre-approved so you can start home shopping. Step 4, work with your realtor to search for homes. Step 5, find the home you like, put in an offer, and get it accepted. Step 6, I always recommend not skipping this step, get a home inspection. Step 7, order the appraisal and secure financing. Step 8, and this is the fun step, close on your new home and move in. Hey there, and welcome to my channel. This is a channel where we discuss all things real estate, whether you're a first-time home buyer, fifth-time home buyer, someone looking to sell their home, or even someone who's aspiring to be a realtor. This is the channel for you. Now, before we continue, if you find this video helpful or valuable, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and be sure to subscribe to my channel so we can keep the real estate content coming your way. Now, step 1, you must absolutely know your credit score to purchase a home. You have to know your credit score. Most people use things like Credit Karma to check their credit score. Credit Karma is not accurate when it comes to giving you a credit score to apply for a mortgage. Credit Karma gives you what's called a Vantage score. When the lender pre-approves you, they are going to use the FICO score. If you do not know your FICO score, most banking apps nowadays will give you your FICO score for free. So whoever it is you bank with, go into their mobile app and see if you can find your credit score. Like I said, most banks nowadays offer that service for free. If you do not have a bank that offers your credit score, you can go to freeannualcreditreport.com and obtain 1 free credit report per year. Now you can also go ahead and apply with a local lender, and they can tell you your credit score and tell you what areas you need work in, but we'll talk about that in another step during the home buying process. Now, here's an important thing. Most lenders require a minimum credit score of 620 to be able to get you approved for any type of home loan. Now, some lenders can get you approved with a 580 using an FHA loan. However, my recommendation is to go ahead and push to get your credit score up to 620. Now, the next part of step 1 is understanding the down payment that you need to be able to purchase a home. The down payment amount is determined by the type of loan product you use. So the traditional methods for pre-approval are VA loan, FHA loan, and conventional loan. There are several other loan types, but we will discuss these particular 3 loan types in this video. So if you're using a VA loan, then your down payment is 0. You do not have to have a down payment if you are using a VA loan. Now, that does not mean you do not have a VA funding fee. We will talk about that in a completely different video. If you are using an FHA loan, then your down payment is 3.5% of the purchase price. I'll say it again, 3.5% of the purchase price. For example, let's say you're using the FHA loan and you want to purchase a $300,000 home. Well, all you would do for math purposes, you would say 300,000 times 3.5%, put that into your calculator, and you will get $10,500 as your answer. So that lets you know that you would need a $10,500 down payment. Now, as a first-time home buyer, you may qualify for some down payment assistance, but we'll talk about that in another video as well. So if you're using a conventional loan, then the down payment requirement is 3%. So you would do, for math purposes again, let's keep the example simple. You would do 300,000 times 3% and put it into your calculator, and that's going to give you $9,000. So you can see there's a slight difference. So just for a really quick recap on step 1 and the down payment, a VA loan requires a 0% down payment, FHA loan requires 3.5% minimum down payment, and the conventional loan requires a 3% minimum down payment. Now, there are also closing costs that are involved with purchasing a home. Typically, the closing costs can be from 3 to 6% of the purchase price, but closing costs can be negotiated with the seller depending on what type of market you're in. And also, as a first-time home buyer, you may qualify for some closing cost assistance from a local lender. Now, step 2 is pretty self-explanatory. Determine your needs and preferences. Now, my biggest piece of advice for this step is to make sure you understand the difference between a need and a preference. For example, if you have a bigger family, let's say a family of 7, you're probably not going to want a 2-bedroom house. So in all reality, you most likely need at least 4 bedrooms. But let's take that same scenario. If you have a family of 7, do you really have to have a 10-foot pool with a 5-car garage? Those are things to take into consideration. Make sure you know the differences between your needs and wants. Now, step 3, my favorite part, you want to get yourself a local trusted lender. If you're in the Hampton Roads area, I would love for that to be me. Get yourself a local trusted lender. Now, some people believe that meeting with the lender first and then getting with the realtor is the way it should go. My personal preference is to speak with the realtor first because they most likely have a preferred local lender that they can get you in contact with who can help you qualify for down payment assistance and closing cost assistance. So that's a very important step. Find yourself a trusted realtor. Now, after you've met with your realtor, you've chosen your realtor of choice. As I said, they will put you in contact with the local lender, and the lender is going to run your credit. You'll submit documentation to them, and they will be able to determine how much you are pre-approved for. Now, this is a little side note. Just because you are pre-approved for a certain amount, that doesn't mean you have to use the entire amount. It all boils down to affordability versus eligibility. The lender may say you're eligible for $500,000, but does your monthly budget say you can afford that payment at $500,000? So make sure to distinguish the difference between affordability and eligibility. And if you are my client, I will sit and break that down to you in greater detail based on your specific financial situation. All right, next step, and this is a really fun step. Once you are pre-approved, we can begin home shopping. This is the fun step. Now, one important piece here, I will always suggest not seeing too many houses in one day. If you see too many homes in one day, they all start to run together and things become jumbled up. So typically, if you're seeing homes with me, I will show 5, maybe 7 homes in a day, but typically I like to stay around that 5 mark. Now, I also suggest taking notes as you walk through each property. If you are seeing homes with me, I do provide a checklist so you can go through things that you like and did not like about the property. Once the end of the day comes, you want to be able to take a look back at your notes for each property and see which one stood out to you the most. Now, you found a house you like, so what happens next? We submit an offer. Now, when submitting an offer, I do recommend having your realtor look at some comparable sales in the area to make sure you're putting in the best offer price possible. Now, things that are included in your offer include closing date, financing type, your offer amount, your earnest money deposit, also known as an EMD, any appliances or anything that you wish to convey with the property, and any other special provisions such as home inspections or appraisal gaps. Now, next step, and this is important. Do not skip this step. Do not skip this step. This is your home inspection. Under no circumstances will I recommend any of my clients to skip the home inspection. It is imperative that you get your home inspection. During the home inspection, the inspector will check things such as the exterior, interior, plumbing, electrical, windows, everything you can think of from top to bottom. The inspector checks it thoroughly to see exactly what's going on with the home. Now, after the inspection is over, we will go through the home inspection report together. We will discuss the items that you want repaired. Again, this all depends on your type of market. If you're in a seller's market, a lot of times you don't want to ask for things like chipping paint to be repaired. So it all depends on the type of market. However, we will go through that list and you will tell me the things that you absolutely want repaired in the home. And then we will put the repair request on a form called a PICRA, PICRA. That stands for Property Inspection Contingency Removal Addendum. So this opens up another negotiation window. We, as the buyer's agent and the buyer, we present these requests to the seller's agent. They then present it to the seller, and the seller will either say, yes, we will fix these things, no, we will not fix these things, or maybe they will offer a credit instead of fixing the things. So again, it's another negotiation window. Each state has different requirements of how long that negotiation window is. In Virginia, it is a 5-day repair request period. It's time to order your appraisal and secure financing. The appraisal is what determines how much the property is worth. Now, this is important. The lender will not give you more than what the home is worth. That's a very important piece to understand. Now, for example, let's say you were approved for $300,000. You put in an offer at $275,000 and the offer was accepted at $275,000. The appraisal then comes back at $290,000. Now that leaves $10,000 since you were approved for $300,000. Remember, the appraisal came in at $290,000. So what happens to that $10,000? It does not go to you. It does not go in your pocket for repairs. It cannot be used for closing costs. Essentially, you never see that money. As I said, the lender will only give you what the home is worth. Now, the good thing about this scenario is you put in the offer at $275,000 and the appraisal came in at $290,000. Well, that's a $15,000 gap. So that means you have $15,000 of instant equity. So that's an amazing thing. Equity is always good. We'll discuss equity in another video. Now, remember, you never actually see the check for $275,000 because that's what the offer was accepted at. There's a thing called a promissory note, and the note is simply a written promise to pay your mortgage. So make sure you understand this once you reach that stage. Now, next step, it is time to secure your financing. Remember, you were pre-approved for a loan, not approved. So that means the lender is going to run your credit about 72 hours prior to closing. Now, in some of my other videos, you will hear me say, do not utilize your credit, do not purchase furniture on credit, do not make any large deposits, withdrawals, don't go out and buy a car. And this is why. It's because the lender is going to run your credit again. And if your financial situation has changed, you most likely will not be approved for the home. Now, during the final approval process, the lender is going to ask you for bank statements, asset verification, gift letters, proof of funds for closing costs and down payments, and a few other financial documents. They will also do an employment verification to make sure you haven't quit your job during this process of purchasing a home. So do not quit your job. Don't change fields. Don't decide to become an entrepreneur. Keep everything tight and right is what I like to say until you close on your home. Now, the last and final step, and usually everyone's favorite step, it is time to close. It's time to close. Come to the closing location prepared to sign a good amount of papers, usually about that thick, depending on your situation. The closing process can take about 1 hour depending on how many questions you have and how fast you sign. Now, at the closing table, it's typically you, your family, your buyers, your agent, your realtor, and the attorney. The seller is not sitting with you at the table. Once you sign the required documents, you are officially a homeowner. Congratulations, you did it. Now, the home buying process from start to finish, from getting pre-approved and understanding your credit all the way to the closing table can take about 30 to 45 days, depending on how long it takes you to find your home and get an offer accepted. All right, I hope this video was valuable and educational for you. If you did find it valuable or educational, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and be sure to like this video, comment on this video so I can keep the real estate content coming. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.